It's all about the creation and control of those intellectual property rights and developing it not as a tangible but an intangible. I think when you listen to the term here, it's really about an intangible economy. I've said that before. I'll say it again. It's really where the wealth creation is going, is all in intellectual property. And one of the big keys to making a lot of money with intellectual property, creating a lot of wealth, is controlling cash flow rights. That's what licensing IP is all about, is controlling the cash flow rights, okay? Because that's the real value in it. And there are many strategies that can be used, and especially if you're a joint venture partner, and it's used a lot by joint ventures. And what that is, it's basically getting the master license rights to an intellectual property, a trademark, brand, copyright. In this case, the example here is a deal that I did with the United States Marine Corps, which is obviously well known. It's a big brand, and you would be amazed many times at when you go to look at some licensing opportunities. Oftentimes organizations are not set up to be able to manage a licensing program. They just don't have the personnel. They only have one or two people in the office. And so one of the strategies that can be used is what's called a master licensee. And basically what a master licensee does is goes in, and in this case we went in and we got the rights to the brand for certain categories of products and services, okay, in certain channels of distribution. In this case it was the mass market. We have a license, we got a license that gave us the opportunity, our option, to make and sell certain products based on that license for that IP, but we also had the option to go out and relicense it to others to make products and services. And we, in effect, my client, in effect, became the manager of that IP, of those licensing. And so basically the way it worked is the master licensee gets the license, let's say, for 8%. So anything that you make and sell, you pay 8% back to the IP owner. And then when you sub-license it, you can sub-license it for 9, 10, 12, whatever you want. And what happens is you, as the master licensee, keep the difference between what you license it out for and what you owe the IP owner. In this case, it was 8%. So if you license licensee 1, 2, and 3 for 10, okay, you kept 2. This is something that can be a very, one of the most powerful strategies that you can use with licensing. Acquire the rights to another intellectual property, not necessarily to have to make and sell it, but to control those rights and make money with it. You've got a powerful opportunity to leverage. It's called basically leveraging both sides. One is to make and sell products. 2 is to relicense it out. And it can be an incredibly lucrative strategy. And by the way, this strategy is a great one to use. If you're looking for a way, it's used a lot for companies that are looking to increase their value. Some of the uses for this master licensing strategy are, one, if you're building a company and you want to build value in it, use a master license, because that license has not only value when you acquire it as a licensee, but also as you license out. And 2, if you're looking to raise capital, becoming a master licensee can be a very effective strategy. Master licensing deals are quite common amongst apparel companies, fragrance companies, anybody that's looking to get their brand or technology out there, but they just don't have the capacity. They hook up with a big partner who can get it out there. You can control intellectual property rights through options. You can control intellectual property rights through, you don't necessarily need to put money on the table. Oftentimes, as a JV broker, you can control the rights by putting together a deal that says, look, if I bring you, based on a performance, if I bring you a deal, then what we'll do is transform this into a licensing deal and you'll get paid. There is so much intellectual property out there that oftentimes you can control it for little or no money, and it's a strategy that is used over and over again by a lot of savvy marketing companies, especially on some of the smaller deals, like when I was working on the Maryland Pictures. I've had companies come to me, they want to get the master rights for certain categories. They want to be able to make and then also relicense, and you have to be careful with it. But where they were smart is what they would do is they already knew, much like Mitch was talking about the strategy of pre-selling and the previous strategy, is they would actually have already gone out to the market and kind of tested the market and pre-sold potential licensing partners on a certain IP before they actually laid any money out and signed a contract. And that's another way, that's another technique that can be used. There's many, many techniques that can be used to do this, but the key here is if you can control the rights, the money-making rights, that's where the real value and the real money is made in controlling those rights.